Boom, 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 boom. I want a double boom. Let's spend the night together in my room. Let's not actually, let's play some Bomberman Tournament. Let's load our save and return to the mystical land of Two-Plane. Top-Plane? That's of little importance. Welcome to the desert of the top lane. Here are some pink gel enemies or blob enemies. They're functionally identical to the previous colour enemy that we saw last time in the forest, / the magnety base. We have progressed into the second area of the game, the deserty area, full of sand and palm trees and pink blobs. And sharks in cages in bizarre little rooms. With stairs in the corner. We have to solve a puzzle to open the cage to free the Karama bomb. We want to get all those Karama bombs, and this is the Karama bomb that's directly related to our progress in the game. We must form the shape of a water droplet or a tear. Probably a water droplet though, for we are in the water-themed area of the game despite being in a desert. Who knows what that's about? Nobody knows. And neither do I. I'm trying to do this in the most efficient manner possible, but I'm sure somebody could imagine a more efficient manner. If we wander off to the right, we can have a look at the shape we're supposed to be making. I'm pretty familiar with it though, so we won't be doing that. Just imagine the screen scrolling for yourselves. To take that panel to make room for explosions to go. Explosions! Explosions. Probably the least exciting way of using explosions. Or some sort of explosion sculpture. We're well within the strict 2-minute time limit though, as we complete the puzzle. It has been solved. And Sharkoon, or Sharkan, joins our forces. He has the gift of the farsight and can reveal that which is not seen. Let's have you now. Let's not. Didn't cash in that sensor last time, silly me, let's put it on. You can see I've gone and ground up all those Karabons for nobody's particular interest but myself. Because I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me. Anyway, this area doesn't really have much in it except for the shark cage room with the mysteriously larger basement. Very peculiar. Anyway, onwards to the first town of this area. Most areas in the game have at least 2 towns. We've had Alpha, we've had Beta, now welcome to Gamma. The Greek letter theme continuing in earnest. You can see the sea takes up a lot of this area. Maybe we'll be going into the sea, maybe not. Here's a man with a spear, he tells us obvious things. An old man with Karabons went into the sea. Maybe he did in fact lose his false teeth, but probably not. He probably went to the base, which is under the sea. The water is also polluted. Because a meteor landed there. I think it's fairly obvious to us now these meteors are directly related to the dastardly bombers and their dastardly bomber bases. We need some aqua bombs if we want to go under the water. We don't have no aqua bombs, we'll have to go and do something about that. We can't go to the next town because the pass disappeared. I want to know how it disappeared too. Such mysteries. Here's a man who looks like some sort of park ranger. He's in charge here. He's talking to our shark, and now we're going to go to the next town. We're going to look at those chests which we're not allowed to open. Quick, Bomberman, while he's distracted, go and open his chest and take his items. Oh, there it is. It was just there. It was magically hidden. to the next town. The long and arduous path has already been finished, that's it. Welcome to Delta, boys! In a minute, once he's done talking, he buggers off back to his own town. And that was the shortest distance between towns in the entire game. Welcome to Delta! See the purple water full of nastiness, I guess. An old man went in the sea and never came back. It could have been Max, it probably wasn't though, because you remember Max because he looks like Darth Vader. Bomberman needs to get on the right questions to ask. Was this man a big black cyborg with blue eyes? Also a comic book, which we're not going to look at before it spoils bosses. We need a raindrop to make an aqua bomb. I'm going to go talk to a fisherman about the raindrop to make the aqua bomb. This man wants to go to Epsilon for his wedding. But he cannot go because of the polluted water and the gate and the boat, which is there. But there's no boat. There's a gate though, and there's polluted water. That man was not dressed to go to Epsilon though. For Epsilon is a cold place, and this is a warm place, so now he's only wearing shorts. We've made the landmine, possibly my least favourite type of bomb in the game. It has its uses, but they are few, and other bombs do better jobs more efficiently. But still, let's head south of the town and give them a go on these jumpy frogs. I was not clever. As you can see, they leave little blocks on the ground. Enemies touch them and they die. That is how landmines work. Must be careful not to drop all your landmines, otherwise you'll be defenseless. For once they are down, they have to be stepped upon before they'll disappear unless you leave the screen. And now let's go back to normal bombs because they're better. There's not a lot to be seen in this area, but let's have a look around anyway. These coloured rocks make a return, hiding deadly secrets beneath ground. They're a bit less subtle now that they're bright green, but whatevs. Kill the blobs, get the money! Let's take a moment to thank forums user GameFace for telling us all about the different sorts of gold coin in the game. There's two sorts, the smaller ones with no writing on, which are only worth 1, and the larger round ones, which have G's on them and are worth 10. Don't know how I've managed to play this game, quite a lot for the sort of game it is. So often just get it out and play all the way through it, and I've never even noticed the fact there's two sorts of gold coins. Not once. It wasn't until I was looking at the recorded video that I even noticed that some of them were only worth 1. Mysterious. Anyway, we're not very healthy. We were previously very unhealthy indeed, but now we're a bit more. See, 1 coin. And if you don't really pay attention, most of its animation looks identical to the larger coin's animation. Just doesn't have the bit where it turns around completely. Oh, made the wrong choice there. I would have taken less damage if I'd just let the blob hit me. Would have taken no damage if I'd just gone into the other corner. Then the blob may have chased me down and eaten me. We have a free path to the stairs we've opened. I want to deal with this frog though. Death to you, Mr. Horny Frog. And for some reason, panels, even though I said I wouldn't collect any on screen. It is a compulsion that I have. They are collectible, and they are on screen. I must have them. Welcome to the arcade! The arcade is useful for its prize wall. Give us more health. Let's speed through it though. Do. This arcade has a score of 40 we need to get the prize. It still remembers our high score from last time, which was larger. It's despite the fact we had less explosion. We get the medicine and use it instantly. Hooray! Full health. Let's see how long our full healthiness lasts. Probably not very, because I'm in a hurry, and when I'm in a hurry I'm gonna touch things that I shouldn't, like explosions and blobs. Sometimes frogs. By frogs I don't mean the French, I mean that frog. You gotta place your bombs pretty exactly if you want to kill these frogs, for they jump in a grid pattern. There's spaces that they will never touch. And some of them will be in a different grid pattern to others. Oh, you head over here, there's a house. Let's go in the house. Tiny little house, and watch out for the Octorok/Zora. We need Kaiman to go and see. Kaiman is north of Delta. The game pretty much telling you what to do. That's nice of it, I guess. Here's only stairs into the water, and we cannot go there without the specific Karama bomb. Let's continue exploring the beach area, which I guess this sort of is. It's fairly similar to the desert area. Stand still and be exploded. We have a little wedge of land here that forms a pointless peninsula. I believe it directly relates to the shape of the underwater section. Perhaps. Anyway, here's a house. Let's go talk to the fisherman. This is lucky fish hook. He wants it. He doesn't need it, but he wants it, so we've got a raindrop. An item we need to enter the sea. Well, that is where the base is. Dropped from the sky on a meteorite. Let's fuse that and make the most useless bomb type in the entire game. We'll see how useless they are in a minute. They've got a fancy water mine design on the A button prompt. Wetwoods. Ah, wetwoods. See how wet this is. Yep, aqua bombs don't do anything outside of water. This makes them useless for pretty much 90% of the game. There's only one real underwater area. Even the base, which is underwater, is not technically underwater. And aqua bombs will not work there. These frogs are rather irritating. I'm going to... Ha! There we go. Make the best of a bad situation. The wetwoods aren't particularly wet over this side. Just that sort of oasis area over there with a bit of grass. And up here. And I suppose the canal, I guess, of dangerous purple water over there. So make our way towards the stairs. This is definitely a underground stair you're going to want to visit for this nice lady. Found a heart container under a tree. Great! We've got 6 hearts now, which means we can survive a full 2 of our own bombs. The third would kill us. Great! Wouldn't be Bomberman if you couldn't accidentally murder yourself very easily, I suppose. Anyway, that's about all there is to the wet woods. Welcome to Mount High. High Bounds. And a new enemy sort, which we could have encountered earlier if we went to visit the Colosseum, but there's nothing really there. We'll save that for next time. Boom! They are of course spear-wielding moblins. To continue the Zelda imagery, they like to poke at you. They've got quite a range, but they do mercifully stand still while they do it, rendering them simple to kill. Like these bloobs. More houses and flowers to explode. We won't explode them because we don't need to. There's a caravan on the cliff. And this woman feels bad for wanting to laugh at him. Here's Kaiman, but he's injured, so he's in bed. Is that his bed? Where do you sleep? Where does anybody sleep? Anyway, let's have a quick wander back this way so we can have a look at that caravan on the mountain and or laugh at him. You can't really see because of the money count in the way, but this is Twin Drag. Also we can go over here, but there's no point to it, so let's go back. This is the mountain portion of Mount High, or whatever the hell this place is called. Let's continue this way into a cave. A cave which would not be visible if any other caravan was selected. Yep, basically you want to go anywhere, let's keep this one on. There aren't actually that many secret passages in the game that are revealed, but when they do come up they can cause a trip to game FAQs to happen. Wait, this is a cave. Sort of interesting. You can wander around, there's a hole here. We can expose our bombs. And there's another old man telling us of a dark section of the cave. And that we should come back later with an appropriate camera bomb who has learnt Flash. We got the disinfectant, that's what we need to kill Kaiman. For he is infected. Boom. Welcome to the rock section of the cave, I guess. It's for the rocks, let's blow them up and continue. Once again, this area has random rock placement. See, we only need one rock explosion to pass through here. Unfortunately, we can't really do much here, for it is completely dark, as that old man behind the wall told us. Let's go back and disinfect some camera bones. Kaiman acts pretty much identically to the lock caravans that we'll be encountering and fusing in the dungeons, in that he'll let you go through a door, and that's it. Well, I say a door, more a ladder into the water. We have to equip him to go down the ladder, but once we're in the water we can unequip him and use whatever. Great! And in practice, here we go! Welcome to the water area. We have crabs and gotta equip the water bombs. The one area in the game that they will actually be useful, i.e. functional. These crabs are sort of similar to the frogs, I guess, except they move around, which makes them easier to kill. But they will jump at you. Naughty crabs. It's very exciting. It's underwater world. Gotta wonder how Bomberman's breathing. These whirlpools act as one-way gates. We can jump through one way, not the other. We have the mermen, who have spears like the pigmen, but they will throw them. Very interesting. These water spouts will let us jump a set direction in one of 4 directions. It's amazing. It's useful. Bomberman should stop doing that, otherwise he'll kill himself. Silly Bomberman. You can see the whirlpools mean that this area is only accessible from below, I think, or is it from the side as well? The direction of the spin, yep, there we go, indicates which way you're supposed to go for it. They're spinning away from the centre as you try and walk through, they'll just ping you back a bit. Which means this area, or that area, is accessible from the bottom and the whirlpools, but only from the bottom. May we leave it? I think that's supposed to represent that peninsula we walked on. It fairly directly does. Great! I was right about that, perhaps. These spears are very annoying to dodge. Mermen. Scourge of the seas. We can't peg them both. Nearly. Getting unhealthy again. Slightly more healthy, but not as healthy as we'd like to be. Lots of water spouts and whirlpools here to navigate ourselves around. Initially confusing, this area is actually quite simple once you've explored it fully. Not really that many places to go. A couple of hidden things though. Well, I say hidden. Very detectable hidden things. Here's an old lady telling us to use those things that we've already used. You can see we cannot head north through the water spout, but we can jump on here and get jumped straight back, but we can in fact go that way. I believe going to the right off the first water spout would give you the same result as you'd land between those two whirlpools. Money! More mermen, more crabs, more problems. More health, more delicious health potions. Two directions to go in. Let's go this way first. Doesn't really matter, it turns out. That whirlpool over there leads us to the area we explored earlier. No need to go there. Let's head north. See, there's a very strange area of the wall up there. You have to head north here, south even. But directions. Kill a merman. Press a switch. Not necessarily in the order stated though. That gives us access to a big whale for some reason. As we approach the whale, it eats us. What a bastard. This serves a vital function, however, for it randomly lands us over here. And Twin Drag becomes our pal. Twin Drag has a actually very useful power, as he will increase your fire up by 1. Water bombs! As you can see, or really can't see, when you have a power of 4. Look at that, 4. Anyway, let's get back to the underwater area. Here we are in the west side. There's another cave here to explore. I said west side, I meant east side. I know what I'm doing. We have another opportunity to buy a comic, which we're not allowed because we already have it. We're not going to buy the health, even though we could do with it. But I know secrets. I have seen the future. It contains health. refills for free. Single gold coin. It's a button. Exciting button. Once we have murdered all the mermen, we shall press the button and probably go through that bit up there. I must say it's nice that the water doesn't slow us down any. Oh man, sluggish as it is already. The camera pans up and we see some blushing fish. Also the way to the base. Spoilers. It's the lucky fish hook from earlier that nice fisherman gave us. And another new Caramabone, who is related to a fish, I guess. I guess Carabons are just big animals with faces that talk. Maringon does the ever useful line bomb power. Line bombs. Not terribly apparent when we've only got 2 bombs, but whatevs. More usefully, here's a healing fairy. I believe every dungeon in the game has a healing fairy somewhere near. And usefully, we can actually access the healing fairy before we enter the dungeon, which we'll be doing next time. Thank you for watching. See you then. Goodbye.